10 things to help keep your motivation. To start off with, I want to read a little bit of a quote here. The measure of a person's success is how he moves from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. This speaks, I think, volumes on what really separates the super successful from the not is the ability of resilience to be able to keep one's motivation through all of the steps it takes to reach some level of success. So how do you keep your enthusiasm? One is to create your why. And this may sound a little bit simple, but it's a pretty powerful exercise. One way to do it is to create your perfect day. At some point in the future, what would you like your perfect day to be? In as much detail as you possibly can go into. Where are you? Who are you with? How much money you're making? What's the day look like? What's the weather look like? What's the location, the house, the car? All the things that could encompass that day, your routines, everything. What does that look like? That gives you a destination point. A ship that has no destination just follows the wind, which could lead to ending up on the rocks, or could be to a wonderful port. That why, that destination, really gives us our course, which we can check ourselves every day with. Your why needs to be so big that it can overcome all of those roadblocks that are along the way. But that being said, a goal or the why is important for the destination, but you need to break those things down. So having smart daily goals that you can do in the space of one day. I mean, so you have your long-term goal, right? Your vision for your future, and then you chunk that down. What are you going to do this year? What are you going to do this quarter? What are you going to do this month? What are you going to do today? And why that's so important is when we complete a task, that allows us to feel like we're moving forward. When we have a 20-year goal, for example, or a 10-year goal, or even a 1-year goal, it can become overwhelming. So we need to break that down into something that we can truly accomplish in that day, because that keeps us moving forward, keeps us feeling that we've accomplished something. Go to live events. Whatever it is you're doing, whether it's a business or personal development or learning. For example, if you're a scuba diver or if you're underwater basket weaving, it doesn't matter really what your thing is. There is a live event structured around that thing. Go to them. You meet not only tons of people, but then you get motivated from all of those surrounding other people who are also enthusiastic about whatever it is you're passionate about. Reattach to your why. So often we make our why and then we kind of let it fade. If every day you reaffirm your why, go through the reasons why you are wanting that, and then really attach to them emotionally, because emotions is what ultimately drives what we do on a daily basis. One way to do that is a vision board. Print out the things that represent your why, whether it's in picture form or word form or a hand-drawn thing, and then kind of attach them all to like a poster board or a chalkboard or a cork board, and then go look at that every day. One thing I used to do is I would take a vis-a-vis and write on my mirror the things that I wanted to affirm myself every time I wake up in the morning. Mentorship, either distant or close. And by distant, I mean someone you don't have direct contact with. It could be through books or e-learning or something you found on the internet about that person, like an autobiography or biography. And then close learning is someone where you're actually working with either on one-on-one or a group setting. This way you're always putting that new information into your brain that helps motivate you, gives you the skills, gives you the confidence, so that when you actually do start completing things, you can then self-do all of that. Consistency. Doing what you need to do every day. Because it's so much harder to start something than it is to continue something. I don't know if you ever had to push a car, for example, but from a stopping point, pushing a car is really difficult. But once you get it going, it takes very little effort to keep it going. So that starting and stopping is why most people end up failing before they even start, because there's so much more energy to start something rather than to keep it going. And if you're having trouble starting, there's things like the 1 square foot principle. So like try to paint your whole house, right? That's a pretty big task even for a professional painter, right? But if you tape off 1 square foot, get out all the paints, get all the brushes, clean the brushes, prepare the paints, stir it, mix it, pour it. By the time you do all of that, you have done all of your initial energy. So doing that 1 square foot, done, right? It's already out. So you're like, oh, okay, well, I might as well do the next square foot. And that kind of gets you going, because once you get going, it's much easier to continue. And then reward yourself. Use your DMO, daily method of operation. And when you're completing those things, reward yourself for it. It's, let's be honest, it's hard to do anything that is outside our comfort zone. So when you do, reward yourself for it. Whether it is something simple, making the bed in the morning, right? Or all the way to completing a really hard task. Either way, it's something that you have accomplished. So acknowledge that. And then forgive yourself. There will be days that you don't do it. For us, we have twins. Last night, I think I only had like maybe an hour of sleep because they're teething right now. And, today I didn't really, wasn't very motivated, so I didn't do as much as I probably should have. But if you forgive yourself, then tomorrow, it's a new day. Get back on it. Be extra motivated the next day and continue on. So I hope this helps you. If you'd love to talk deeper on it, send me a message. Otherwise, see you guys tomorrow.